All right, welcome into day 2 here in England. We're here with the City Movement, and we are filming the documentary about the life of George Williams.
I feel like you should do more of a British accent. You're just...
The only thing I've picked up so far is lovely.
And tally-ho.
Or
wellies,
which are rain boots.
Yes.
Not even...
As we've driven through cars, we actually have almost hit a few pheasants. The green hills are just beautiful and amazing.
Yes, it is awesome here. And so we're here at the Tarr Steps. Why don't you give us just a quick summary of the Tarr Steps and what role they play in the life of George Williams?
Sure. Okay, so the Tarr Steps, first of all, what it is if you can't watch this live, it is a old, ancient clapper bridge, which means these massive stones that were brought in. People don't even necessarily know how they got them in, and it forms this bridge of stones across this river called the River Barle, okay? And so it's also at the base of the farm of Ashway Farm. And so George Williams used to walk with his little hay cart and sheep and even cattle, and he would walk down to the Tarr Steps and hang out here and walk across this bridge. And it was kind of part of his story, part of his childhood story, as he was searching for more, longing for more, searching for God. And so these were his early days, and this was his early view at the Tarr Steps, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think what this might have been like 200 years ago.
Yeah.
When George Williams was walking around here, and it's been a fun morning tracing his life at Ashway Farm and here at the Tarr Steps, and we will keep you updated on what we record as we continue tracing his life.
Tally-ho, cup of tea.
Welcome back to the City Movement podcast. This is Jeff Snyder again. I'm here with David Newman and first time appearance from Ashley Newman. So glad she's on this trip with us. And we just wrapped up our second day of filming. We left our Airbnb, what time this morning?
6:30.
6:30, and we just got back, and it is 8:30, something like that,
Yes.
over here in England, 3:30 in the USA.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think? Was it a good day?
It was a great day.
It's a great
We did actually hit a pheasant, and saw many other birds and
Clarification, the pheasant hit us.
That's
we were
true.
driving, it smacked.
That's true.
This was
Yes.
David and
us.
Ashley's car. I would never hit a pheasant.
Yes, and we saw
The car I
sheep
was driving.
and cattle,
Deer.
and red stag deer,
Yeah.
and beautiful green hills and gorgeous English countryside. It was amazing. We ate crumpets and scones and
Pork.
tea, and it was great.
Yeah, we were all over the Dulverton countryside area today filming with our filmmaker Ahmad. And I think to keep this short, I just want to ask one question for us each to answer.
Okay.
And that would be, what is one thing you will remember from today, from our second day filming this documentary in Southwest England? What's one thing you'll remember?
Yeah.
I will remember sitting down with our friends and having a homemade meal with them. That was very special. English homemade meal, very generous, very yummy, especially after a long day out on the England countryside. That was wonderful.
Yeah, hospitable, wonderful people, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Special.
So there's something about, you can read a story and tell a story and know a story in your mind, but there is something about being exactly where it happens.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about the YMCA a lot, George Williams, the beginning of this, but when you walk the actual path that he walked, where his cart tipped over, when you walk the farm, when you're with somebody where their roots are, the story just comes alive. I felt like that, in my trips to Israel. It's like when you're on the Sea of Galilee, suddenly you see the story differently. And likewise, here we are walking this YMCA story and seeing it differently. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is my first trip to England. I'm not like David and Ashley here, who are English travelers.
Well,
but I would say, and I told Ashley this previously, I've been blown away by the hospitality of
Right.
the English families that we've interacted with. Our hosts at our Airbnb, we got in late last night, and all of the restaurants in town were closed. And so they baked us a fish pie and just brought over scones and a cheese board and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And then tonight, instead of, we were going to go out for fish and chips.
Which is what you do in England.
Which is what you do in England.
Bangers and mash, fish and chips.
Instead of that, the family that owns the farm that we're filming at said, we thought it would... She said, we made an executive decision to have you guys over for dinner instead. And so we had this wonderful dinner in her barn with a home-cooked meal. And every time we've gone over there, I think she's had coffee or flapjacks or something to offer us. And I think it feels like it's out of genuine hospitality. Not like I feel like I have to do this.
Absolutely.
So it's a good day. We're thankful. We're thankful to be in a church family that lets us go see and do these kind of adventures. And thankful that we get to be a part of this.
I would definitely say being here makes me more excited to see the finished product of what we're working on.
It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be great. It's going to be great.
We need prayer for good weather. We had beautiful weather today. Beautiful weather.
It's supposed to rain.
The rest of
our trip. Yeah.
And so we are praying for good weather. So join us in that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for spending some time with us here over in England on the City Movement Podcast. Day 2, we'll see you either day 3 or 4. We'll put out another one, and we'll see you then. And for David Newman and Ashley Newman, I'm Jeff Snyder. And we're not sure if British people actually say tally-ho.
But I say it in each podcast.
That was the City Movement Podcast.